at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces. Whether you prefer wood or gas, Woodland Stoves has the fire to fit your home. Pizza aficionados know nothing matches masonry oven baking for capturing flavor and nutrition. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces can easily install one in your home or business. Enthusiasts use these ovens year-round for bread making, wood roasting, even grilling.
The mission and passion of Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces is to make the fire work for you. The way humans relate to fire is primordial. We have used fire to warm our bodies, cook our meals, and kindle our spirits. Our team has the know-how to do this in a clean-burning and environmentally smart way. Visit our store and experience the diversity. We have over 35 working units on display at the corner of Riverside and East Franklin. See us online at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that fits and works for you.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
There are things that we experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in a corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us, share your story, share your evidence, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is Ghostbox Radio.
And this is Ghostbox Radio on AM 950, where every week we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, or just the unusual. My name is Char Savoy, filling in for Greg Bakken this week. Thank you for joining me today. Greg is off on some amazing paranormal adventures and asked me to fill in for him while he was away. Besides being a paranormal investigator myself, I'm also an energy healer, intuitive, and medium. I'm the owner of Charvinity, and you can find out more about me, my services, products, and other things on my website, www.charvinity.com. I am also providing my services at Enchanted Boutique as well, which, by the way, they just moved to a beautiful new location in Maplewood at 1860 Beam Avenue. Make sure to check them out, and if you see me there, be sure to say hello. I am really excited today to welcome my friend Tim Miley to the show today. Tim has been in the paranormal field since 2008 after having his own experiences in his new home. Tim has spent the last 13 years helping others with his team Fox Cities Paranormal. Besides traveling the country and through Canada, giving lectures on the paranormal, Tim also holds events for his foundation, Pot of Grass for Poochas, that was founded in 2013, which helps raise funds for local animal shelters. Tim, welcome to Ghostbox Radio.
Thank you for having me. It's always nice to be on with somebody that knows me well enough not to have to ask how to pronounce my last name.
That one has stuck with me for a long time because you made a very big point about it when I first met you. I'm like, got it.
I have gotten a little bit more relaxed on it because nobody gets it right, so I just got used to it.
Well, great. Well, I'm so glad you're here today. I would also like to invite all of our listeners to join in the conversation. To do so, you can call in and ask a question to Tim or myself live on the air. Call us at 952-946-6203, or you can email a comment or question as well. The radio email address is comment@am950radio.com. We're live on AM 950 Radio, but we're also streaming video on the following Facebook pages. You can watch us on AM 950, Things Network, Paranormal United Network, and Minnesota Ghostbox, and I believe I shared it out to my Charvinity page, hopefully. Please feel free to leave comments there for Tim and myself as well. So, Tim, I know that introduction was like so small to what you really do in this world. So I really kind of want to narrow it down because I want to be able to have you tell your story. And really, you can do so much more justice to it than me. I'm just skimming over what you do. So first of all, I kind of want to talk about how you got started in the paranormal field. Like, tell me about this house that you had.
I still have the house. I didn't get chased out, but I bought a house here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, so not too far away from you, in 2006. And I was going through a lot of things personally. And on top of that, moved into this house, and within a week, I had voices and footsteps and bangs in the wall. And at the time, I was 31 years old and really had never dealt with anything paranormal before. So it was brand new to me. I was completely naive to what was happening in my world, and I pretty much just had to deal with it. But you've met me, you've seen me a few times. I'm a pretty big guy, and the first thing I did when this started happening in my house was I called my mom,
Aw.
and my mom's wonderful advice that I will remember until the day I'm not here anymore was go see what it is. And since we're on AM radio, I can't tell you what I told my mom in return. um, but that started it. That was the beginning, and just kind of had this paranormal world thrust upon me, you could say.
That's kind of how it happens, though, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of people I meet that are like, "Oh, I've loved this since I was a kid," and they used to watch all the scary movies, and I wasn't that guy. And I mean, we grew up with one half of my family being very religious, which I am completely for. I have nothing against religion. It just meant for them that we didn't talk about ghosts. It was when you passed, you went to heaven, you went to hell, and that was it. There was no reason to talk about it further. So, like I said, all of this stuff was brand new to me, and I guess at the end of the day, I'm really thankful that it happened.
Well, I'm thankful too because I got to meet you. No, so I know it took a little bit, but eventually you founded Fox Cities Paranormal. Can you tell me a little bit more about them?
It took a little bit because originally, I'd ran across some of the TV shows, and it's weird because those people are my friends now. But I ran across some of the TV shows and tried to contact teams in my area, and nobody got back to me, which I guess is a blessing in disguise because if they had, I would have taken what they had to say for fact more than likely, and not done the research myself and learned more about what was happening in my home. And the first year or so was all about just how do I coexist with this. Let's learn as much as we can about what's happening here. And I had a 30-year mortgage at the time, so I don't want to get chased out of my house. I don't want to leave my house, and we got to figure out how to stay here. And then I kind of was looking in the mirror one day, and I said, there's got to be families out there that are in my position that need help, and there should be somebody out there that's willing to help them. And that's really how it started. I had a discussion with a couple of friends, and I said, there's got to be families out there, and we should be the ones that can help them. And we took on this journey, and I would say 95% of what we do is residential cases. And you're probably going to get this out of me a lot during this interview, but just incredibly grateful. This field has made me a better person. I mean, that person I was in my mid-20s and my late 20s is not somebody I even look back and am proud of. It's changed who I am and how I think, and given me a purpose.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I feel like I think that's the part that gets so misunderstood about the paranormal field is there are some of the most amazing people that are doing the things that you are doing. And it really does open your mind up, and it opens your heart up in a whole different way. And it is life changing.
Certainly. I owe a lot to the paranormal field. Things that we're going to talk about later in the show. None of that happens if I don't have this platform. So, incredibly grateful. I have a fantastic group of friends within the paranormal, and I just consider myself a really fortunate person.
That's awesome. I'm very fortunate as well. I feel a lot of the same feelings you do about being in this field, and I'm probably not as active as you are because I'm not on a team anymore. But but it is kind of a whole different mindset, a whole different love. I mean, it's you can't explain it to some people if they don't quite get it.
The best call I've ever gotten in my life was from a client 2 days after we had investigated their home, telling us that their child slept in their room.
Oh, that's the best.
That's what it's about. I mean, I get a lot of opportunities. I've done a little bit of TV, I've done a lot of radio, and I'm lucky enough to go around the country and speak at conventions. But honestly, when I look back at the highlights within the paranormal, it's always something with a client. And Todd Arnold's been working with me for the past 14 years doing this. And I've told him before, if I ever lose that love for residential investigations, then we need to be done.
Right. I agree. I think it's that whole going in and helping the client. And would you say even like a lot of them are just reassuring, like telling them, no, you're not crazy. Yes, I've heard this before. And just kind of really taking that fear and empowering them to kind of take back their house and their life.
I'm not a trained counselor, but I kind of feel like I am a counselor.
Right, exactly.
You almost become a part of their family,
right?
If everything goes right. And it's a bond that's going to carry through for, a lifetime in some instances. The case that we did that ended up on Paranormal Witness, I've known the family since 2010, and we're great friends to this day, and I consider them family.
That's awesome.
And if you're doing it right, that's what happens. You create this bond, and you're going to be there for them just like you would be for family.
I agree totally. There's several people too that I've helped that have become friends as well, and it's kind of interesting. You're like, okay, I don't know how that happened, but I'm grateful because they're some of the most wonderful people I've ever met. And I do want to talk more about your Paranormal Witness episode, but maybe we'll do that in the next episode so we have a little bit more time. I did go back and rewatch it recently. I had to go find it because I'm like, I remember the story, but you told it in person, and I never watched the episode, and I went back and watched it. So I really want to dig into that one a little bit too, if you're willing to talk about that.
Definitely.
Perfect.
It's been a while, so I might have even forgotten some of the details. So.
No, yeah. When did you say you recorded that one?
Well, we started the case in 2010
Okay.
and didn't finish until 2012.
Okay.
And then I recorded the episode in the spring of 2013, and it aired in September of 2013.
Okay.
So it was a long process.
Yeah. It is a long process. I know I did my ghost story, and that took almost a year to get through just that part of just the show part of it. So, okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our first break here. And when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Tim Miley, author, lecturer, paranormal investigator, founder of Photographs for Pooches, Fox Cities Paranormal. You are listening to Ghost Box Radio on AM 950.
Would you let animals pick your insurance? Do you really need to experience mayhem to get the best rates? Or how about a celebrity quarterback or fake university saving you money? There's a lot of marketing stunts when it comes to insurance, but what you really need is someone looking out for you. Call Array Insurance, and they will work hard to find you the best insurance coverage and rates. So avoid gimmicks and call Cheryl at Array, 763-504-3067, or arrayinsurance.com. Array Insurance, working hard for you.
O'Reilly. Save on your next oil change with 5 quarts of Castrol GTX conventional motor oil and a MicroGuard filter for $22.99. Plus, earn double O Reward points. Protect your engine with Castrol GTX conventional motor oil and a MicroGuard filter, $22.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Eat Local Minnesota is a great way to find locally owned Minnesota restaurants and food purveyors. You'll find high-quality food and unique eating experiences with dishes from around the world. Just visit eatlocalminnesota.com for your next meal. Experience the revolutionary Cuban cooking at Victor's 1959 Cafe, the little piece of Cuba in South Minneapolis. It's an authentic taste of Cuban cuisine for any meal of the day. Favorites include the ropa vieja, sweet plantain omelet, seafood paella, and more. Victor's has their dining room open for seating with no reservations required. Located off 38th and Grand. More at victors1959cafe.com. Cafe Latte combines a cafe dining experience with gourmet quality food. Plus, you can still do online ordering and takeout, along with gift cards. Just go to cafelatte.com and choose from their ever-changing selection of award-winning salads, sandwiches, and soups. Cafe Latte is located off Victoria and Grand and online at cafelatte.com.
Hi, everyone. AM 950 is grateful to the listeners who stepped up in the last year and helped support the radio station by becoming members. As we move forward, it's still important to help support small businesses like AM 950. We have memberships at any financial level, either a one-time donation or a recurring one, and we appreciate any support. We've already featured a lot of members-only bonus content like the calendars, but we have more benefits coming soon. To become a member, go to am950radio.com. That's am950radio.com. Click on the Become a Member button and sign up today. Thanks from everyone at AM 950.
And welcome back to Ghost Box Radio on AM 950. My name is Shar Savoy, filling in for Greg Buchan this week. Thank you for joining us. Today, my guest is Tim Miley. Welcome back, Tim.
I'm amazed I got brought back for the segment number 2, but thank you.
Well, we have 2 more to go, so hang in there. All right, so we kind of started talking about Paranormal Witness before we went to break. And I really kind of want to talk about that a little more because that was I heard the story before I saw the episode, and just listening to the story was amazing and super touching. So could you fill us in a little bit more about that investigation and what happened?
Sure, I'd love to. We had been doing some local lectures here in the area in Wisconsin, and one of the places that we had done a lecture at was a really nice bar and restaurant type place called the Central House. And one of the people that worked at the Central House approached me afterwards and said, "We have some things going on in the home we just moved into, and a lot of it you're not going to believe." So I had a discussion with the homeowner, and basically they were dealing with everything that you see and hear on all of the shows. I mean, they were dealing with disembodied voices of a small boy. They were seeing a small boy and an older man in the home. Their teenage son at the time even got pulled out of bed by the ankle. So they were dealing with a lot, and I was only 2 years into doing this. So looking back on it, if I had to do it over again, I would probably still take the case, but I would ask for a lot more help sooner. But we went into the house pretty much cold. We didn't do research. We just had the stories of what they had been experiencing. And during the first investigation, we got an EVP that just said murder. And it was one of the most difficult EVPs to explain to a family. And then we also got an EVP later that night telling us to go home. It's the first time we'd ever been told to go home. It's happened a couple times since then. But went and showed the clients what we had, and they asked us to come back in, and we went back in 2 weeks later for a second investigation. And we couldn't find anything on the home, and thankfully the clients did. They found an old newspaper article detailing a murder of a 2-year-old child in 1967. We found out that this little boy was 2 years old. He was in foster care. And was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead as strenuous child's play, which ended up not being the case. But so we knew who we were dealing with, or so we thought. And we went in for another round of investigation. And that night we made sure that we focused on making Chris, the 2-year-old boy, making him comfortable and hopefully getting him to trust us. Because if you really think about it, everybody in his life up until that point, every adult that he looked to let him down in some way.
Right.
And why should he trust us? And thankfully, during the course of that night, we got him to trust us by, telling us his name. We asked him to tell us his name, and we got it on a recorder. And it simply just said, "My name is Chris." And it was still to this day, the single most amazing piece of audio I've gotten, and also at the same time heartbreaking.
Right.
Because you knew that this little boy had been there since 1967. We're investigating for the first time in 2010, which is 43 years ago, if my math is still good.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. But it was heartbreaking, and we did what we could to interact with him and gain his trust, like I said. And then we also had to focus on this older man, this entity that was in the home that we assumed was the old man that had killed him.
Hmm.
Fast forward about 2 years later, and there was a lot of frustration on my part that we had not figured out what was happening and we weren't able to help yet. And at that time, I had just gotten to know Scotty Rorick, and I believe you know Scotty.
I do.
I was doing a radio show for him at the time, didn't even know he was a medium. And somebody recommended that I call Scotty, and I called Scotty and I said, hey, I got this residential case and I've been stumped on it for 2 years. And he cut me off and he said, I don't want to know anything about it. I'll help you, but I don't want to know anything. And that started one of the most remarkable nights that I've ever experienced in my life. He came to our house first and had dinner with the team, and then kind of sat in the living room. And he looked at me and he said, you know, your dad wants me to tell you something.
Aww.
And I said, oh boy. And he said, your dad's upset that you told him to leave. And if you rewind a little bit, and I might get into that story later, but when I first moved in here, a lot of my family said, hey, your dad is here. He's watching over you, and he's the one that's making all the noise. And I had said, hey, Dad, you're scaring the dog. You can go. I'm okay.
Aww.
And, you know, that was in 2006. So 6 years later, Scotty picks up on that. And since then, I've had the most wonderful relationship with my dad, even if it is on the other side. But we did that investigation, and on the way, Scotty was telling us things that happened at home and where they happened, and was spot on on everything. Scotty did some transmediumship work that night, and we got a chance to talk to Chris, you know, things that Scotty would not know.
Mm-hmm.
We had not publicized anything about this case, and I hadn't told him anything. So throughout the course of the night, we managed to move this little boy along. And we also managed to move the older man along. There's some details in there that we just don't have time for me to get into, but it was a pretty miraculous night. I wish I could tell you how we did it. It was kind of a fog, and after it was all said and done, and we were just exhausted. And I'll never forget that feeling. But a few months later, probably about 6 months later, I got a call from Scotty, and he said, the producers from Paranormal Witness are wanting to know if we have any residential cases. And he asked if I'd be okay talking about the Chris case. And at first, I was really not sold on it, because this has never been my thing, never been, hey, I need to get on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, wait a minute, this is a chance to tell Chris's story. And it's not about me, it's about him. So after a very long discussion with production crew, I agreed to do the show as long as they would tell his story the right way. And people would learn what happened to this little boy. So that started the whole process. The process of actually recording the show got to be a little frustrating because, you know, they want you to say things a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little stubborn. So they actually sent me home after 6 hours that day.
Okay.
And then brought me back the next day to record. It eventually aired in September 2013. And they kept their word for the most part with telling Chris's story, but they exaggerated a lot of things outside of it. And I get that. They have to, have to make the show interesting. They have to sell advertising space and all that good stuff.
Right. That was my next question.
Yeah, I'm happy that we were able to do the show
Mm-hmm.
and bring some light to Chris's story, and I mean that really was the thing that started this all. I mean, I started to get a lot of opportunities to go around and talk about that case, and it gives me the platform I have now. So I guess I owe a lot of this to Chris.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool way to think about it. And I know, so that Paranormal Witness, I believe, is season 3, episode 15, correct?
I don't remember the episode anymore. I just know it was called The Innocent.
Yes.
And now they have rebranded it.
Okay.
I think you can find it under Extreme Paranormal Witness, and it's a different show title.
Oh, okay.
But it's still on Discovery Plus. You can still look it up on Paranormal Witness. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, I look a lot younger in that show.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to take another break here real quick. If you want to get a hold of Tim for any paranormal things, you can reach him at www.foxcitiesparanormalteam.com, or their email is fcpi.wi@gmail.com. And then we're going to take another break real quick. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Tim Miley, author, lecturer, paranormal investigator, and the founder of Pot of Grass for Pooches and Fox City Paranormal.
You may not think of it, but winter is a great time to take care of those exterior home projects. This is Chad, owner of AM 950 for Snap Construction. Most people wait until the warmer months for their exterior home projects, but labor costs are actually lowest in the winter. And that's true for the contractor I trust, Snap Construction. Arguably the most well-reviewed exterior contractor and insulation contractor in the metro. Are you noticing ice dams on your house? Or is your furnace constantly running and you're still not comfortable? In addition to your exterior home projects, winter is also a great time to get your insulation checked with a free energy audit from Snap Construction. The average cost to upgrade your insulation is oftentimes less than a new furnace. Plus, there are rebates available from your energy provider when you upgrade your insulation. As always, Snap Construction stands by their work with a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. So don't wait for prices to rise in the warmer months. Get a free estimate now by calling 612-333-SNAP, 612-333-SNAP, or go to snapconstruction.com.
Is your remote workforce putting your company at risk? Cyber criminals are targeting your employees with COVID-19 inspired emails and attacking businesses like yours. Hi, Mark Sommerfeld from Rymark. Rymark has the tools and expertise to enable your employees to work securely from home. If you need help getting your staff to work remotely and securely, call 651-328-8900 or go to rymarkit.com. That's 651-328-8900 or rymarkit.com.
The local advertisers you hear on AM 950 are the lifeblood of the station. If you find yourself regularly tuning in, or if you appreciate the diversity of content we deliver, please take the time to support our advertisers. Even if it's just to thank them for backing AM 950, your voice and support can go a long way. Help keep the station going strong while investing in our local community. Find the complete list of on-air supporters by visiting the advertisers page at am950radio.com. That's am950radio.com.
February is the month of love, so make sure to show your home the same love you'll be showing to your sweetheart this month by bringing Zero Res over to your home. Zero Res will take care of your carpets, upholstery, tile, area rugs, and air ducts. So if you're bringing a special someone over for that candlelight dinner, they won't be sneezing dusty air or asking about that nasty stain by the coffee table. Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google reviews, and their gotta love it guarantee makes it easy to get what you pay for. Ask for the AM 950 special and get 20% off all cleaning services in February. So don't wait. Call 952-0-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com. That's 952-0-RES or visit ZeroResMinnesota.com to schedule your appointment anytime. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
This is New Beginnings, hosted by award-winning broadcaster and speaker Freddie Bell.
Freddie, this generation of the baby boomers, people are living longer, so the baby boomers are taking care of elderly parents.
Let's talk about your health, and specifically, let's talk about Medicare. Our show features the concerns of America's 78 million baby boomers in employment, finance, health and nutrition, and even entertainment.
Join us for New Beginnings, Saturday mornings at 11, brought to you in part by Vision Loss Resources.
And welcome back to Ghost Box Radio on AM 950. Recently, Greg had Ernie and Denise Pack on from Pac-Man Paranormal talking about their work along with many others to save Waverly Hills. I urge everyone to seek out that episode from January 16th and listen to what is going on at Waverly Hills and to also support them in their endeavor. Go to SaveWaverlyHills.com and sign the petition, and please consider making a donation via their GoFundMe page there. Please also share out the SaveWaverlyHills.com page. Also, just as I mentioned before, this is Shara Savoy. I'm filling in for Greg Bakken this week. I am a certified Reiki master, intuitive medium, a metaphysical instructor, and a paranormal investigator. I got a little bit of everything in there. At my website, Charvinity.com, I offer a lot of classes, services, and products that will help you on your spiritual journey. Check out my website or my Facebook page to see everything that I have going on. And also, if you miss Ghost Box Radio with Greg Bakken Live, AM 950 replays these episodes Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, or you can listen anytime by going to Spotify or iTunes. After listening, please leave him a positive review for his show. I would greatly appreciate it if you did that. And also, our guest today, welcome back, Tim Miley, author, paranormal investigator, and founder of Potographs for Pooches and Fox Cities Paranormal. Welcome back, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's kind of dive into Potographs for Pooches, because I think this is like amazing. I love this, and I remember the first time I met Murray, and it's just an awesome thing that you're doing, and I want you to be able to tell more about that if you could.
Do you want me to start from the beginning, or?
Yeah. How did he get started?
It all started with adopting Murray. I had mentioned earlier, I think, that when I moved into this house, I was going through some things personally. I was dealing with a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety, and at the time definitely had suicidal thoughts. When I moved into the home, I knew that one of the first things I wanted to do was get a dog, because I love animals, and I'd never been able to get one in the apartment buildings that I'd lived in.
Mm-hmm.
So that was objective one. And I started to look online, and I found a yellow lab pit bull mix that had been rescued from the home he was in because he was badly beaten.
Mm.
I would find out later that he couldn't wag his tail because the people that had him tried to tear his tail off.
Oh.
The shelter actually tried to talk me out of going to meet him. He didn't like men. At least that's the story I got. And after begging for a really long time, what it seemed like a really long time, just a matter of hours really, they allowed me to come meet him. And I sat at the end of a room that was full of kennels. And the worker at the shelter opened the gate, and Murray went the wrong way, because that's kind of what he did. But once I turned him around, he came running to me and jumped into my arms. And this little puppy that wasn't supposed to want anything to do with me wanted to be my best friend, and I had no problem with that. The process of getting him home took a little bit. Eventually got to bring him home, and he was seeing and hearing the things that I was hearing in the home. So it was another living being that was experiencing the activity in my home, and it made me feel less crazy.
Right.
Unfortunately, the depression that I was going through kind of got the best of me in the beginning of 2007. So I would guess about 2 months after I'd gotten Murray, I sat in the bathroom with the largest knife I have in the house and sobbing. And for anybody that's ever been in that situation, in that frame of mind, I'm preaching to the choir when I say you really have no idea what you're doing. You don't have your faculties in order at the time. There's not a clear thought in your head. I went through each family member and each friend and came up with a reason that it would be okay if I wasn't here anymore. And just as I was about to do the unthinkable, I felt something on my left arm. And I looked down, and it was Murray, and he had placed his chin on my arm. I crumpled to the floor and held him and cried for about an hour. And that one simple act from that dog snapped me out of it. And from that moment on, he and I were father and son. We weren't dog owner and dog. And I spent every day of my life trying to thank him for the second chance that he gave me. I mean, I still deal with days where things aren't good. I battled depression for a long time after all of this happened, but I wouldn't be here today if it hadn't been for him.
Right.
And I wouldn't have had the chance to get through it. The Paranormal Witness episode had been recorded, and I was starting to get a lot of interest from conventions. And they give you a table, and they tell you can sell anything you want. And I didn't have anything. So I thought, well, what if we do something where we do something good with that space? And at the same time, kind of create a legacy for Murray and let people know just how special he is. So came up with Potographs for Pooches, and in the beginning it was very simple. It was pictures of Murray and I, and he would potograph them. We had a stamp made of his paw, and I would personalize them at events. We'd sell them for $10, and wherever we were, we would pick a shelter in that town, and we would give the money from those sales to the shelter. And as you can imagine, in the beginning, there wasn't a whole lot of support and interest. The first event we did, we raised $10, and eventually word got out, and we raised $100 at an event, and then $200. And then the paranormal field just wrapped their arms around it and said, we're not going to let this fail. Eventually, John Cassidy and myself were talking, and he said, hey, how about we do a Potographs exclusive event? You know, ticket sales and investigation sales, they all go to the shelter. And I remember talking to John and being like, I don't think anybody's going to come to that if it's just me and you. But Michigan surprised me, and we sold, I believe, 56 tickets for that first event and raised, I believe, $745 or something around there. And I was on top of the world. It was amazing. And then it was just grown. It's grown every year. And last March, we did an event in Houghton Lake, Michigan, and broke our own single event record and raised $13,223 at one event.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
And to this day, I think it's 73,696, if I remember that right.
That is fantastic. That is, I mean, how do you even? I look at that and I remember when you first started, and I'm like, that is fantastic. How far this has come, how far it's gone, and how many animal shelters that you have helped. That's amazing, and all because of Murray.
Thank you.
Murray and you.
And I was, I was about to say that myself. Nobody wanted a picture of me. This doesn't succeed without Murray. This doesn't happen without Murray.
Right.
And unfortunately, Murray passed away in 2019.
Yeah.
Worst day of my life, bar none. But I made him a promise, and since this is a paranormal show, I can tell this story. I had told him, because he was in bad health,
right,
and I knew it was coming. And I had told him, I said, my dad, I told him, Grandpa's going to be waiting for you. So you make sure you look for Grandpa.
Mm.
And you need to make sure you let me know you're okay. Otherwise, I'm coming to look for you. And that sounds just like I mean it to sound. I was ready to go.
Right.
The thought of him being alone scared the hell out of me.
Right.
And he passed away, and the next morning I had 4 messages from 4 separate mediums. And every one of those messages started with, you have to let my dad know I'm okay.
Aww. That's
so
sweet.
He held up his end of the bargain, and now it's my turn. So we push forward with Potographs for Pooches. Everything we do is with him in mind, and his legacy's set.
He made not only a major impact for you, but he's making an impact all over.
Yeah, the day he passed away, the amount of people that were grieving with me.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
It was amazing. And selfishly, I'm thinking to myself, it's nice that all these people care. But at the end of the day, none of you understand what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And it was a really rough day. And there was so much support. And I'm so grateful for that support. But I kind of backed away from the world for a little bit. I needed to. I needed to figure out who I was without him. And for so long, my very existence was tied to him. And I guess you could say it still is. And I'm happy with that. But yeah, we push forward with Potographs for Pooches. This year we've got 4 events that we're putting on ourselves. And I think I'm a part of 3 others. So it's a busy year.
And yeah, that's what I was thinking when I saw your stuff on Facebook. I'm like, wow, he's got a lot going on. You actually have a telethon coming up for Potographs for Pooches, don't you?
We do. Thursday nights. The last 3 years we've done this with the help of April Roan. She helps me put this together, and And we have guests from all of the events that we're doing for the year. We give them a chance to come on air and talk about what Potographs means to them, and have them beg their friends to give us money. And this year, the March event is benefiting Northern Michigan Animal Rescue Network. Wonderful, wonderful ladies that run that. I've known them for years, and I'm so happy we get to do a big event for them. And everything is Thursday. Starts at 8 p.m. It's going to be on the Potographs for Pooches Facebook page. 8 p.m. Eastern, sorry. And everything we raise goes to Northern Michigan Animal Rescue Network as a part of that event. Awesome. And it's going to be fun. We got Shane Pittman on as a guest. We've got Paul Bradford, and then I think the guest list is about 15 or 16 long. So it's going to be a fast-paced 3 hours, and I think people are going to have fun.
Awesome. I'm excited for that. I'm going to tune in and see what's going on, see all the things that are happening for you. And just so you know, I have both your picture and Murray's picture still. The time that you met Murray is very special to me, and not only because of you, but I run across that picture of you and Kelly and Murray all the time. You know what's funny?
And
on my memories today, a post from Kelly showed up.
Wow.
I know. I was like, all of today's the day with Tim and Murray. So I like to think she's still kind of taking care of him a little bit once in a while.
I'm sure they phoned each other.
Oh, I'm sure. So now, if outside of the telethon, if people can't come to one of your events, can they still donate towards Potographs for Pooches?
They can, yes. Okay. They can go to potographsforpooches.com, and right on the home page there's a donate button. And the way we do things is if you donate money, it goes to the next event that I'm at.
Awesome.
So if you were to donate today, it's going to go to Northern Michigan Animal Rescue Network. It's just nice and easy and clean for me that way, and I don't have to worry about picking and choosing. So, awesome. If people want to do that, potographsforpooches.com, and here's that word again. I'd be incredibly grateful.
Awesome. All right, we're going to head into another break here. When we come back, we're going to finish our conversation with Tim Miley, founder of Fox Cities Paranormal and Potographs for Pooches, author and lecturer. You are listening to Ghost Box Radio on AM 950.
Hi, this is Frank Brown, owner of Minuteman Press Uptown, Minnesota's only minority-owned union printing company. But we are not just another print shop. We are a marketing and promotion company that has over 100 years of experience in helping clients not only with their printing needs, but also with their marketing strategies. We offer marketing ideals for clients from targeted direct mailings to digital geofencing. I am passionate about helping businesses grow.
Frank and his team at Minuteman Press Uptown have been great to work with. They always come with fresh marketing and promotion ideas that help us grow. But that is not the only reason I choose to work with them. Check out their Google reviews. I choose Minuteman Press Uptown because they match the values of AM 950. They pay above livable wages, stand up for social, racial, and economic justice. Call Minuteman Press Uptown at 612-870-0777 or visit mpuptown.com. See the difference they can make with your company. They print everything.
Hello, this is Ellie Krug with Ellie 2.0 Radio. Now my show will be on Saturdays from 10 to 11 and replayed on Sundays from 1 to 2. You will get to the best of Ellie 2.0 with talking about idealism, with guests who come in and who are idealistic, who are trying to change the world, and you will get me, Super Idealist. Tune in. We can't wait to hear from you, and you'll hear from me Saturdays from 10 to 11.
You know how it is with vacuum cleaners. You buy them, you break them, then you throw them away, right? Well, not necessarily. Often, fixing your vacuum can be cheaper than replacing it. Ever heard of A1 Vacuum in Roseville? They offer free estimates. So if you wish your vacuum worked like new again, drop by. A1 Vacuum is ready to help clean up your vacuum cleaner act. Find us at a-1vacuum.com or call 651-222-6316.
Hi, this is Kirk Duckwall with Bricks Real Estate and the Twin Cities Real Estate Show here on AM 950. With home prices at all-time highs, do you want to downsize but don't know where to start? With the fast-changing market, I can help with timing, pricing strategy, home preparation, and much more. Take the worry of selling away and give me a call today at 651-303-0019. I've helped many AM 950 listeners sell their houses, and I can help you too.
Hi, everyone. AM 950 is grateful to the listeners who stepped up in the last year and helped support the radio station by becoming members. As we move forward, it's still important to help support small businesses like AM 950. We have memberships at any financial level, either a one-time donation or a recurring one, and we appreciate any support. We've already featured a lot of members-only bonus content like the calendars, but we have more benefits coming soon. To become a member, go to am950radio.com. That's am950radio.com. Click on the Become a Member button and sign up today. Thanks from everyone at AM 950.
And welcome back to Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken. Next week on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken, I will be back. I will be guest hosting once again, and I will have the honor of having famed astrologist, medium, author, TV host, and reality star Maria Shaw, and Joe Lawson will also be joining us. He is the lead investigator for Lawson Paranormal and former co-host of Psychic Radio with his wife, Maria Shaw. We are going to discover how to enhance your paranormal investigations with the use of astrology. You will not want to miss this one. It's actually super fascinating when I talk to her. For our final segment, we return to our guest today, Tim Miley, founder of Fox Cities Paranormal and Pottergrass for Pooches. And Tim, welcome back once again.
Thanks. I hope your guests next week let you talk a little bit more than I have. I'm pretty long-winded today.
Oh, well, you're the guest. You're supposed to talk. So I did want to kind of touch a little bit. You have 2 books out there. One, All Roads Lead to the Paranormal, and The Endless Road, correct?
Yes, and I cringe when people call me an author because I don't believe the books are all that good.
Oh.
I am a horrible salesman for my book. But I wrote The Endless Road in 2016, so it's been a while since I've written a book. I'm in the process now of writing my 3rd book, and it's a book about Murray, and it is taking forever. I get to a certain point, and then I have to just quit.
Yeah.
And take a break. So I don't know when that book's going to come out. But yeah, the 2 books can be, well, the one book, The Endless Road, is the only one that's still in print, and that can be found on Amazon.com if you just search The Endless Road and then my name, Tim Miley.
Okay. For somebody that doesn't think they're an author, it's good that you're writing a 3rd book.
Well, I keep getting messages from people that read it, and they're like, you need a new editor next time, and I try to blame it on my ex-wife, but that excuse is getting a little old.
Well, I'm excited. I mean, I can totally understand, knowing you for how long I've known you, knowing the story. I feel like I've watched your Facebooks, for years, so I've kind of gotten the inside scoop on some of this. I can see how writing this next book is going to take you a while. That's a lot to get into, a lot of emotions, a lot of really hitting the heartstrings there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bond that I'll never have that type of bond with anybody or any animal again.
Right. But you do have some new pets, though, correct?
I do. I got Bo, and he doesn't get a whole lot of publicity, so I'll start with him. That's my cat. He's an orange tabby and a sweetheart of a cat. Then I have Ray. Some of the folks that I work with in Wisconsin, with the shelter, after Murray passed, they got a hold of me and they said, we have pit labs coming up from Alabama. Here's your pictures. Pick one. And a part of that story that is important is I was going to pick a boy, but I got a message from my friend April, and she said, Murray wants me to tell you that he's okay if you get a puppy, but he can be the only boy.
Ah.
So Ray is a girl, and it's R-A-E. And then just about 4 days ago, I added to the family, and I have another pit lab named Daisy. My
so
good friend
cute.
Tony. And she is, and she's so wonderful. She's a little bit confused now. My friends Tony and Jamie, their daughter has really severe allergies. 2-year-old daughter, Daisy. And the best scenario was that I just take her, and she lives here. Otherwise, they would have had to take her to a shelter, and I didn't want to see that happen. So
yeah,
it's Ray, Daisy, and Bo, and then sometimes I get to eat too.
So now, do any of them, obviously probably not Bo, but do any of them get to kind of go with you to your events now?
I don't take. I took Murray a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Ray made an appearance last year at the Wisconsin event, but I don't think I'm going to do that again. And it's for a good reason. I mean, the Potographs events have gotten too big, where I can't possibly, watch her and still run the event.
Right.
So, yeah, but she did make an appearance. My mom brought her, and she got to come up at the end of the presentation and get her own little round of applause. And it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Now, after your telethon, what's your next event after that one?
March 5th in Houghton Lake, Michigan is Potographs Parafest 3. And some great people at that one. Brian Cannell, Paul Bradford, and then Carl and Keith Johnson from the Ghost Hunters show. And also James Anito and others. And if I go into all of them, we'll run out of time and I'll forget somebody. So I don't want to do that.
Awesome. So now, and any other, outside of those events, anything else that's coming up that maybe you haven't quite told anybody yet that you'd like to share with me? Nobody else is listening.
There's no secrets. Everything is posted for the year.
Awesome.
We've got 4 events, Potographs exclusive events. Michigan in March, Ashmore Estates April 23rd. That's going to be a celebration for Murray's birthday.
Oh.
And then July 16th, we're at the Hinsdale House. Want to give a big shout out to Robin Terry with Ashmore Estates and Dan Class from Hinsdale House for giving us those buildings for free.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that we can raise money for the animals. And then we end the year in Wisconsin, in Ripon, Wisconsin, with probably the biggest event I've ever tried to put on. It's headlined by Dustin Perry, Chris Williams, and Shane Pittman. And I'm terrified because I just want the tickets to sell.
And that's at the end of the year, you said?
It's September 17th.
Oh, okay. So not too far at the end, but all right, people, you heard them. Buy those tickets up. Again, I just want to mention that you can find more of information about his Potograph events at www.potographsforpooches.com. Also, you can visit his website for Fox Cities Paranormal. It's www.foxcitiesparanormalteam.com. And then just real quick, is there... I know you said they've been really quiet. You said you put everybody in the kennel. You must be away from the kennel, or are they just really calm?
I'm a couple of rooms away. Ray's been doing a little bit of barking, but for the most part, they've been okay.
Okay, because I was gonna say I haven't heard anything at all, so I was kind of impressed. All right, and then also, I know you have merchandise for sale at these events as well, correct?
I do T-shirts and sweatshirts, a couple of different designs. I don't have them on the website right now, and I'm not sure if I ever will because it's a one-man show, and I can't keep up with mailing things out and in a timely manner, and then keeping that much inventory. So right now, you need to come to an event if you want some of that merchandise.
All right, sounds great. Thank you, Tim, so much for joining me. Hopefully I will talk to you soon. This has been Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken, and this is Shar Savoy filling in over here on AM 950. I hope to see you all next week when we talk with Maria Shaw and Joy Lawson. And again, thank you, Tim Miley, for joining me, and I will see you again next week.